Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tennessee Fan Talk with your hosts, Brandon Byrd and the Duke. Today we have with us future that 90s Vols fan guy, however it is we're gonna label him. Today he goes by the missing mustard. Where today's show, Vols defeated by the Rebellion, which is more than just the Rebels, as we'll get into, but defeated by Golf Ball Kiffin himself.
Mm-hmm. I heard the missing mustard was caught at the Dicks off of Peters Road in Knoxville, picking up a dozen balls before the game.
Oh, man, so much to get into, guys. Of course, Tennessee is as relevant in social media as they have ever been. A lot of negative, a lot of positive, a lot of, hey, we don't care that this happened. It happened because we're tired of getting dumped on from officiating. We're tired of, speaking of which, just we'll get into it. But, guys, the fourth down call. Has anyone actually looked and seen where the line judges were that made that call?
Yep, they were at Calhoun's on the river.
Yeah, I think they were over in West Tennessee somewhere.
No, yeah, they weren't even close to the line.
Calling the spot from 15 yards back. And they're not young guys anymore. And, vision impairment, unless they've all had LASIK when they were 20.
Maybe the SEC provides that in the
Contract
referee salary.
As an official.
Yeah, they can expense it. They can expense
LASIK.
it. Yeah. We're
You
sick
guys
and
realize-
tired of being sick and tired.
You guys know where we've seen this group of officials before already once this year, right?
Florida?
No. Ole Miss
Pitt.
versus Memphis versus Mississippi State.
Mm.
And we all know what happened there.
So, quick rundown. I didn't even get time to make the overlay. First off, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the 4,300 listens for the or views on the last show there on YouTube. We appreciate that very much. Please remember to follow us on your choice of social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all that jazz.
OnlyFans.
No negative comments here. The Volcast of this will come out. This needs to be changed. We actually drop these things out on Monday now, unless this show here, unless we go way too long, and then we'll split it up into two of them. Quick little rundown. We do want to go through the game. We want to go over last week's picks. We're going to spend most of the time on the Vols because this, guys, was one that they could have won, of course. Vegas got it wrong, saying that it was going to be upwards of 80 points scored in this game, which absolutely did not happen. Vols, not great in parts of it, and other parts look good. At the end, Joe Milton needs to get the you-know-what out of Tennessee. If it's the last play and you have 3 seconds, do you not have a Hail Mary in the bag? No awareness, none. About turned around and ran right in to a defender.
And he's got the strongest arm since Zeus.
And then going to decide that he's going to run.
My son can throw that. It's 20 yards.
It's 20 yards.
That is true.
All he had to do was put it up and trust the receivers. We've done it before. Jawan Jennings, Josh Dobbs, Georgia.
That was a Hail Mary.
Yeah, he had to hail the hell out of that.
You know what's sad is that we were this close to winning the game on the play before. If you
Yes.
could slide a dime under Callaway's foot when he jumped, we would be talking about a completely different situation today. I don't know if that's tired legs or what, but man, I wish he could have gone up after that ball harder.
I said the
After
same
watching
thing.
the
I said
replay.
you're 6'5", you're that big, and you come 4 inches off the ground. No. You get higher.
Yeah.
Correct. Hooker, 17 for 26, 233 yards, only a touchdown out of that. And of course, no picks. The Vols' blessed defense gave Matt Corral his first interception of the year. Go Vols D. He was 21 for 38, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns. Guys, one thing that Duke said last week was that we had to have someone in the backfield just spying him down, and at times we did that, and sometimes it was two, and one would go ahead and make the rush, the other would hold back. They were very well prepared to get a lead blocker in front of him on several key plays, and Matt Corral is just so dangerous with his legs, and if he's not careful, he's going to get hurt.
I wish it had happened the week before they played us.
He's going to get hurt carrying the Heisman home because it's so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
He is definitely a Heisman contender. He was 30 attempts on the ground, an average of 6.5, 195 yards. He busted out a couple around that 30, and 32 being his longest. He had his next best running back. This tells you how well we defended everybody else. Just couldn't get a hold of him. Was Parrish with 41 yards on the ground.
Hate to say I told you so. We all said the same thing, but those guys, those quarterbacks like that, they eat our lunch. They have
for a long time, all the way back
again. Yeah, I don't know what I mean. Again, it shouldn't transcend, different administrations and whatnot. But my goodness, I just it's the same song and tap dance routine. 195 yards out of the quarterback. Being there at the game, a lot of times, of course, everyone knows you get a different perspective than what you see on TV. There was a lot of holding, not to start the wine fest early, but a lot of holding out on the edge that wasn't picked up. So, but yeah, he shook shake and bake.
Definitely lots of non-calls. They're
letting the boys play. They were letting the boys play.
Quite a few non-calls, quite a few bad calls. Ole Miss gave up. I think they ended up a little over 75 yards in penalties. We didn't see. I think there was only one pass interference, and you would think with two teams that like to throw that deep ball, we would have seen a little bit more pass interference thing. They just couldn't get time. I'm very happy for Tennessee's defense. They showed that they are strong. They were in the backfield a lot. Matt Corral was just able to run up the gut and get away.
For two teams that throw the deep ball, I would have liked to seen the deep ball thrown a little more.
I would have liked to seen the deep ball. They just didn't. Neither team had time, and I wish we could have got a little bit better running. They prepared. As being one of the worst defensive lines. They prepared well for our run game.
Yes, it showed.
And missing.
Like I said before we started the show, hand up, I didn't watch most of the game due to wedding. But I saw a lot of reports. Wasn't the Ole Miss receivers dropping a lot of balls?
Oh, crazy.
Couldn't have been a lot worse than what it was.
It could have. I mean, you give up that Velais Jones dropped the first punt of the game.
I saw that.
Or punt or kickoff, whatever it was. I guess it was. I think it was a punt.
Yeah, he stopped them 3 and out on the first possession, and then they dropped the punt.
Muffed it. Yep.
Of course, I was not able to go, but missing Mustard, whom is missing his voice. How exciting was Neyland, and how it's been a while since it's been that crowded and that loud. Could you even hear yourself think?
It was definitely up there in the top 5 games I've been to personally. We have not been back since 2018, so this was my first year game to go in a few years. It was up there with the loudest that I've ever heard Neyland. 98 Florida, 98 Arkansas, 2015 Oklahoma, and it was certainly up there with Oklahoma game as far as just the decibels in your ear, the inability to, like you said, even think. The whole place is shaking. Man, when they came out with that, the orange running through the tee and the lights low, I mean, I felt like I was at a rock concert. It was great, really good stuff.
And the Duke attending a wedding, he's still wearing white. Look at that. That's something that 90s fan guy would love to have. We may have to trade off.
Yeah, I mean, like you have to go to a wedding with one of your best friends, right? You're not going to miss that. I mean, I caught the highlights of it. Obviously, I'm glad I didn't see it. The part I caught after the wedding was us throwing stuff all over the field, which, I mean, was I happy about it? Do I condone it? No. Do I get it? Yes. I understand what they were mad about. I mean, I guess it really goes back to the defensive touchdown turned down, right? They didn't give us a touchdown. That's what I read.
Correct. It stems throughout the whole game.
Well, it stems out for 15 years. That's really where it comes from.
And I get the frustration of the fans. Would I have personally done it? No, I wouldn't have. No. If I had the family with me, I'd be trying to get out of Dodge. Which is why non-promotional here, I sit in the Tennessee Terrace. The kind of money that's spent right there from the season ticket holders, they're not going to get in trouble. We can just pop right inside and watch it all from the glass.
See, I used to always sit in the student section. If I was a student or not, I would still sit down there.
Believe it or not, I did not throw anything at this game.
Oh, I'm calling it.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, we were behaving over an X3. I do want to congratulate the jackhole that got, or the hero that got his first jackhole in one when he hit Joey Flopwater over there with that golf ball.
You think, little Penny Hardaway come down there and taught him how to hit the flop?
I saw also the replays of Ole Miss's basketball fans throwing stuff on the basketball court when we were playing down there.
This is SEC fans. This is not Tennessee fans. This is SEC. The passion runs so much deeper in the SEC.
If that happens at Mississippi State fans throwing stuff on the field. If that happens at Alabama, last time I checked, Alabama got beat last week, and there was a murder. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's a little bit worse than throwing a golf ball. I mean, there's no telling how many people's been killed over the Iron Bowl through the past years. I mean, and what's his name? Poisoned the tree. So, I mean, we're still nowhere even in the top 5.
No trees passed away in the riot, the Neyland insurrection. No, honestly, guys, let's be for real here, okay? The SEC and all of those commentators, they owe us an apology because all we're trying to do is help those Ole Miss players out there. They were clearly dehydrated and they needed some water, and we're just giving them as much as we could so that we could stop the cramping.
A bunch of floppopotamuses out there
from being 6 hours long.
And
there's going to have to be a rule change. It'll be at our expense yet again, just like Music City Bowl. Hey, I was at that game where they were throwing crap over my head. You know what they did there? They taunted the crowd just like they did last night. So
they most need to remember, certainly.
There are 19 and 20-year-old kids throwing crap at 19 and 20-year-old kids. That is a 99.7 survivability rate of what happened last night, okay? 99.7% of the people are kids throwing stuff at kids. It's not there may be one 90s UT fan guy out there that's 60 years old and throwing his best Hail Mary from, TT up there. But we can't allow ourselves to be gaslit by these people that are saying it's going to recruiting kid out of here with that stuff.
No, it's not.
Man. No, those kids love that. Let's be honest. They love that. They're not going to go, oh my, I'm clutching my pearls, and I'm going to go to Vanderbilt now instead of Tennessee after what I saw in the game field last week.
No,
Disgusting.
they're gonna say, "Wow, these fans are passionate. They're loud. They're hyper. This is where we want to go. We want to be in an
They've got our
environment
back.
where they care so much." Yep,
Through the thick and the thin, we got your back.
yep. Lane Train making a big deal about his golf ball. I love, the guy that hit him. That's great. He, crying about his golf ball.
I think the Lane Train needs to worry about getting his money back to the Lexus of Knoxville. By what I've seen the stories about that too.
What do they do moving forward if a player goes down? If the player is put back in 2 plays later and goes down again, at that point, which involves some record keeping, he sits out the remainder of the drive. And if it does it again, do they start charging timeouts? At what point, and what do they change? Duke?
Well, I think
That's
maybe. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Duke.
Oh, that's just a slippery slope. I don't know what you do because, I mean, how can it's such a slippery slope because you don't want somebody to get hurt and really be hurt and think they're flopping. And I don't know how you tell that. You know what I mean? Unless they can review the flop.
Well, no, but if
you go back to the review.
But if that's why I say if they're really hurt, they're going to go off and they're going to stay off for a little bit. If they're coming back in 2 plays later and playing full force, and then the tempo builds up again and they drop again, or the next drive they drop again. Okay, but at that point,
I mean, at the same time,
we stop giving them free timeouts. We start taking timeouts.
I mean, I think the only way you can do it is if you have, say, 3 injuries in one half. Regardless if what y'all laughing about? Am I froze again?
No, it's on the screen now.
Oh, I can't see it. Never mind. But anyway, no. I think the only thing you can do is if you have more than 3 injuries in a half, if they're real or not. Past that, it doesn't matter. The 4th one, if it's real or not, you lose a timeout.
Yes.
Or you lose if you're out of timeout, you lose a down. Whatever the case may be.
Something.
I thought about this a lot on the way home today. I'm with you, Byrd. I think you definitely got to look at taking them out for the entire possession. You do it under the guise of safety, because everybody has to be safe before they leave their house every day. So we need to change up our way of life to keep things safe. And that includes these guys that clear enough electrolytes. And so, yeah, I mean, who cramps in 55-degree weather over and over and over again? They were doing this at Arkansas the week before.
They did.
It's it's classless. Honestly, it's cheating. If we're being real about it, it's classless cheating. I think you set them down for the remainder of the possession. Yeah. Or maybe until a first down is achieved and the clock is stopped. And then you can substitute that player and not the entire team. They're using also as a way to sub in everyone else in these situations too.
Right.
So, limitations on who's allowed to sub back into the game, maybe just the injured. And then, you sit his butt down to seek proper medical treatment and make sure that he gets that cramp worked out before coming back in.
And like you said, use that safety bubble. They're all about, targeting and lowering the head. And this gets me.
Every time one of these comes off.
When the defense lowers their head, they're automatically looking at targeting. When Matt Corral lowered his head and was diving last night into somebody, they say, oh, he's throwing a shoulder into him. No, he's not. He put his head down and went right into him. His shoulder didn't touch him.
Consider the source, too. We got sportscasters that are trying to tell us that our ears are hearing, let's go, Brandon. It's mad. It's clown world. So, I'm not going to be gaslit by Jordan Rogers.
No, I mean, this
Mr. 2-year Vandy star.
This is pent up from 1997 when Lee Corso called us trailer trash. That's what it is. Was it 97 or 98? Anyway,
it was Chris Fowler, and yeah, it's been in
I
that
thought
way
it was Lee
forever.
Corso. I thought it was Lee Corso.
It's Fowler.
Oh, well. Where's he at now? Huh.
Same, yeah, exactly.
Fixing to retire. Let's go through the remainder of last week's results. We're 20 minutes in. Of course, we all three picked Arkansas to beat up on Auburn. Bo Nix and company turned that one around.
You never know what you're going to get with that guy.
I tell you.
This
Never
guy's
know.
favorite.
I mean, you got to give credit where credit was due. He did throw a dime on that game. I saw the highlights. He threw a dime.
We all three missed that one, 38-23. We all three picked Florida as well in the Florida LSU game. And, of course, LSU come back and winning that one, 49-42. And I didn't know this because I haven't paid attention to any news today, but as soon as we get on here and start our pregame talk, our pre-show talk, go ahead and hit it. Whichever one of y'all that said it, I think it was Adam.
He gone.
He be gone.
Biggest fraud in the SEC, gone.
No more cooking the gumbo. He out.
He'll be defensive lines coach at Alabama next year. So.
Comment online. We have figured out how to handle this. If you are caught faking an injury on more than one occasion, you get a shocker by
Who is this guy? who is this Dustin Powell guy?
Whoo. There's a whole bunch of Ole Miss players walking really weird right there on the side.
Hotty toddy.
Like hamstring.
Whole bunch of hamstring injuries. Oh. Hey, we finally got one right. The third game, Texas A&M over Mizzou, 35-14. Hoorah, Texas A&M. And then we all three, of course, picked Georgia with their defeat over Kentucky. I was so happy to see Kentucky take a conference loss. I just wish it would have been to someone like Vanderbilt or South Carolina or someone that, wasn't in the top spot.
That's probably going to be their only conference loss all year. Let's just be honest.
No, Tennessee has a chance to beat them.
Oh my God,
No. After seeing last night and how
everybody's hurt. Hooker, he hurt.
Maybe I think all second string plays next week, and we'll get into that.
Except Harrison Bailey plays over Milton.
See, yes, yeah, Milton. Take off the orange. Get out.
I don't hold nothing against Milton.
Milton is a great quarterback at JUCO level.
I don't hold nothing against him. He didn't do it. I mean, it was not his fault at all.
It wasn't his fault. This just
you gotta be more heads up on that last play.
No, I agree with that, but you can't put that on him.
I don't want to.
You can
put the game on him, but you put that play on him.
No, I agree.
You put that right. Yeah, the game's not going on him because the previous play they should already won at that point. Vanderbilt, South Carolina, the Toilet Bowl, dubbed by Missing Mustard last week. South Carolina pulling it out 21-20.
Who'd they beat?
Vanderbilt.
Oh, I didn't watch it, of course.
And so we got that one right because we don't pick Vandy the rest of the season.
ETSU beat him. That's just what I always say. ETSU beat him.
Alabama, the closest score that picked on Alabama. Let's see, I had 35-14. Brad, 42-14. Pretty close. Nice. And 55-7. Y'all are right there together as far as numbers go.
We played Price is Right rules too.
Yep. Both of y'all get that. He went over. So it's
close to the actual price without going over.
Oh, and of course, Brad picked Ole Miss for the win, although you did pick 56-35.
I know.
We all had 50s on this game, as did the rest of the country. We weren't thinking 50 total.
I mean,
sorry.
There was a safety.
There was a safety.
They didn't want to let us have it. It took long enough to get it, but there was a
It
safety.
did. Oh, wait a minute. We got to see if this can be overturned somehow.
These guys make $15,000 a game. $15,000. I was screaming at the top of my lungs that I'd do it for $50K a year.
Did you hit him with the oldest joke in the book? Say, "Hey ref, get off your knees. You're blowing the game." That's the oldest one in the book.
I have never heard that.
You never heard? Hey, come on, man.
No, never.
I was screaming for a Ole Miss to open up a hospital, though.
Or a bunch of blind zebras, calling them blind zebras. That's another one too.
In the East, you have Georgia still 5-0, Kentucky 4-1, Tennessee holds the third spot, 2-2. Of course, these are all conference wins, 2-2 conference. Florida 2-3, South Carolina 1-3, and who would have thought Missouri at the beginning of the year would be sitting 0-3 in the conference with Vanderbilt, tied for the cellar.
That's gonna be the toilet bowl game, Missouri versus Vandy.
Tied for the cellar. In the West, Alabama 3-1 in the conference, followed by Auburn. 2-1, tied with Ole Miss 2-1. LSU 2-2, A&M 2-2, Mississippi State 1-2, Arkansas 1-3.
And everybody was hot to trot for Arkansas.
They were, and sitting in the cellar. Made a couple key non-conference wins.
I mean, you can hit them with they're in the slaughterhouse. See what they did
there. So,
or the smokehouse, if you want to call
or the smokehouse, sausage house. They got their bacon cooked.
Yeah,
we could do this all day.
They got their feet pickled.
Their hog jaw.
They jacked their hog's jaw.
Week 8, I'm going to go ahead and write it down. It was actually a very thin week. We've only have 5 games this week. Everyone really getting into their buys right here. We know Arkansas is going to win this one, speaking of the Hogs, because they are hosting Arkansas Pine Bluff. This is the noon game. Somehow it's on SEC Network, and that's probably just because of the lack of games, because this is like a game that needs to be on the ACC Network.
Pine Bluff's getting that $500,000 to come play.
I'm definitely going Arkansas, like 38-7.
Yeah, I'll go Arkansas 45-6.
Duke
35-3. I always pick a field goal if they stink.
Yes, you do. If it's a stink fest, he is that only. What could be a good game coming off of a win, and maybe LSU actually hurt some players because they have nothing to play for. Is LSU at Ole Miss, at number 12 Ole Miss. This is the 3:30 game on CBS.
I was about to say, that's a CBS game of the week.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I want to pick LSU. I really do, just because of my reignited hatred for Lane Kiffin. I mellowed off of him and was like, yeah, I'd take him back. But if this is the kind of...
You never take an X back. Bottom line.
Yeah.
If this is the kind of Penny Hardaway stuff, cheating that he is preaching, then it's time to let him go. And
I'm having trouble looking at myself in the mirror here on this thing.
Joey Freshwater Jr. cannot look in the mirror.
He does resemble Lane Kiffin.
He's got a little bit there. If he would eat a little bit more of Arkansas's bacon,
you gotta do this
and get a little thicker face
and throw a visor on.
Throw a visor. Go. I know you got a visor.
There. Oh yeah, from Halloween. Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, I think I have to go Ole Miss on this one, strictly because I do not want to lose my picks when we get to the end of the year. I still want to be winning.
What's the score?
So I'm going Ole Miss 42-28.
21.
This is tough
Duke.
because who expected, LSU to put up 49 against Florida last night?
Yep.
I personally don't think that Ole Miss loses another game this year. I think that could be their only loss, could be against Alabama. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I'm thinking somewhere 48-31, 48-31. And I would not have been that comfortable in those amount of points out of LSU until last night. So who knows?
So I'm going to sound like a Big J journalist here. Ed Orgeron's leaving. The guys that plays at LSU, they still like him as his head coach, right? They love Coach O. They're going to try to play their hearts out for Coach O the rest of this year. So they're one last hoorah kind of thing. It's like movie stuff.
Let me get down in my Kiffin. Come on.
It looks like you're trying to take a European shit.
You're picking the the upset. You're picking the upset. Come on. Yeah.
I'm picking the upset. LSU's going to win 49-42. They don't have anything to play for, so they don't have anything to lose.
There we go. I want to see some injured players.
It doesn't matter now. We've already played them. I don't want nobody to get hurt. I want them to get hurt before we play them, not after we play them. And that's a joke, by the way, if you can't. It's just a joke.
Next one is the 4:00 Eastern game, SEC Network. Mississippi State going into the high school stadium that is Vanderbilt.
Over under 15,000 fans there.
Oh, depends on how many travel up from Mississippi State.
That's what I'm asking.
What does it hold? 21?
I have no idea. I've only been there one time for the LSU game, LSU Vanderbilt.
And I hear they're like, like Franklin Road Academy holds more.
I mean, I live down that way. I could tell you. I go check next. Franklin High definitely does.
Mississippi State is definitely going to go win on this one, and I'm going 55-10.
I'm feeling this 27 to Mississippi State. I don't know where that came from, but put me down. 27-0 Bulldogs.
27.
Yep. I'm picking State too. It's 35-6. 2 field goals.
I like it.
The one that's going to hurt. The 7:00 on ESPN. Tennessee going down to number 4, Alabama. Into Tuscaloosa. Let's just real quick.
Is it really it's not the 3rd Saturday in October this year, is it? I mean, I know that's what it's called, but is it not the 4th Saturday this year?
No, at 10:23, that would be the 3rd.
No, it wouldn't. It's the 4th because the 2nd was a Saturday, the 9th was a Saturday, the 16th was a Saturday, the 23rd, which is
the 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. So Alabama, of course, moves up in a spot. Young last week went 20 for 28, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns against Mississippi State. I'm sorry, I start laughing because I look over and look at Rogers. 35 for 55 and 300 yards, 3 interceptions. Can't imagine why Alabama beat the crap out of them.
Ouch.
You got to respect the game, though, to take a risk.
They looked really good. I said it last week. And, let me go back to this. Adam said 55-7 on it. And I remember going, I just don't know. I don't know who was hurt. I don't know how it's going to be. And I said 35-14. Well, was I wrong on that one? They came out and was out for blood. Does Tennessee have any hope whatsoever?
Is Hooker hurt?
We'll know Wednesday.
It doesn't matter if he's not hurt.
let's pretend for a minute like he's not hurt
Okay.
and he's going to be the starter. I think that we still lose, but I think much like what you were saying, Duke, about Orgeron and the team, I think they galvanize around what happened here last night. And they go on the road in a hostile environment, and maybe we lose by 10 to 14 instead of like the 21 and 28 that everybody's expecting us to go down there and do. I think that we gel together, and I think that we on the road in that hostile environment, we'll put up a good fight. Having said that, if Joe Milton starts or Bailey by some odd stretch of the imagination, it could be 55-10 at the end of the third quarter. No kidding.
Most definitely.
But on the assumption that Hooker is our starter and we don't have any new information, I'm going to go with Alabama 45 and Tennessee 27.
I'm close to you on that. I'm a 45. I can definitely see Alabama putting up 45 points, but I'm going to say Tennessee's not that far behind them with a 35. We could put up there if we're talking Hendon Hooker's back, and we do what we do in the first half.
Well, we didn't even put up 35 against Ole Miss.
That's true.
That was my thoughts about this next game too. We didn't put 35 on Ole Miss, and I think those scores, Brandon and mine, I think we're hoping for a game that's closer than it actually ends up being when it's all said and done. I think they pull away. I don't think it's ever necessarily in jeopardy, but it could be one of those 17-14 type situations that not necessarily that score, but something where we're still scratching, fighting, and clawing in the game. And then,
or it's 45-3 and late in the fourth, and they just sit everybody, and we come
garbage
out
and
get score a couple of them.
I don't think that happens. No. I think if we're in a position where it's 45-3, it's going to end up 62-10 or something. So.
A lot of it, in my mind, depends on how godly Nick Saban's feeling on Saturday. You know what I mean? I do agree that this is the first time, and obviously I don't know because I didn't play there. I don't know nothing about it, but this is the first time just from the outside looking in that a team get along. They get along well. Like you can tell that they're got each other's back for the first time I've noticed in a while, maybe since Josh Dobbs. But anyway,
the locker room is not toxic as it has been.
No, and I think that had a lot to
not to steal Adam's line there.
That's the truth. I agree with him, but we're going to get whipped. It depends on how godly Nick Saban feels. Third string by the second quarter, 42-14.
Ooh. Get all them injuries in there. Really.
We're thin, boys. We're thin.
Really, really thin. All right. Last game at the 7:30 on SEC Network. South Carolina visiting number 17 Texas A&M. That is definitely an A&M special.
Yep. 12th man, yes.
Yeah, Kyle Field's going to be rocking, and
it's still hard to trust a program that doesn't allow girl cheerleaders.
I'm going to go 50,
it's not very inclusive in today's world.
52-17.
52-17?
52-17.
I have no idea. I don't think South Carolina scores that much. 42-3. Amen.
I love your no confidence at all. It's just always just a field goal. They're just going to get a field goal.
You'd think this guy was a soccer player in his former life.
I've never played communist kickball a day in my life.
Oh man. Something. Let's go 38-0.
Oh, what the goose egg! How to safety 38-2. I mean, South Carolina does have a grad assist as a starting quarterback, so they're a little worse off than we are.
Yeah, most definitely. I want to look, just hit a couple little leaders here. We're hovering around the 40-minute mark. And want to play a little guessing game with you guys. We're just going to do 5 quick things. And you tell me what team is leading in this, okay?
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
It's a $100,000 pyramid. Hit me with the music.
Yeah, where's my buzzer at?
Who is leading? What team is leading in passing yards?
Mississippi State.
Wow. Texas A&M.
Alabama. Alabama leading.
I mean, our best bet's just to pick Alabama on everything. If we're being
No,
if
it's
we're being
not.
totally honest.
Rushing yards. Rushing yards. I'll give you a hint. It's not Alabama.
Florida.
Tennessee.
Florida it is. 1 point for the Duke.
I was watching the game Saturday, and all I heard the announcers kept saying is, "What is Mullen doing? He's trying to throw the ball too much. Why is he going away from the run game?"
Oh, so you could watch that game, but you could not watch. I see.
The wedding was at night, and if I'm being honest, the bride, which I was friends with the groom. I'm also friends with the bride now. She's from Lexington. They're big UK people, which I was already kind of outcasted. But Colton, he's from Texas. He's a Texas fan, so he doesn't have any skin in that game.
So he's really happy next season when they come.
I mean, he gets his heart broken just about as much as we do.
He's going to get his heart really broken when they come into here. There is no leading the league.
Okay, question 3.
Receiving yards.
Ole Miss.
Not us.
Come on. It's not Ole Miss.
So I'm out.
Thank you. All right. Let's think about this second. Florida?
So if passing yards is being held by Alabama, I would think that receiving yards, my go-to would have probably been Alabama.
We just hate Alabama that much.
Yeah, I see that. Other than we all picked them. Oh, is that because we're a realist?
Yes, we're a realist.
I'm just trying to figure out where the mustard was for my $16 hot smoky dog. Okay, my mind's somewhere else right now.
Is that how much a smoky dog costs now?
I had a coupon.
It's $16 because he bought the whole thing of mustard, which ended on the ground.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah,
and probably 2 more lights to go with it.
Interceptions. Who holds interceptions?
Vanderbilt.
Mississippi State.
No, not got intercepted.
Oh, defense. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he's got Mississippi.
And
you know what? A wise man once told me Alabama.
LSU.
Is Alabama. Y'all are 1 for 1. Let's see who gets it with the tiebreaker right here. Sacks. Who leads in sacks? With 25.
Florida.
Wrong.
Georgia.
Uh-oh.
Georgia.
Dang.
And the winner is Missing Mustard.
He's
Flex
the question is it Heinz or French's that you like the best? I know it was a French's bottle. I'm a Heinz man, even on the mustard side.
The only condiments they had was taco sauce packets. They wanted me to put ketchup and mustard, walk through 100,000 people with ketchup and mustard pumped onto a cup lid.
You should have got your Petros chili and chips.
Oh, I love some Petros.
You should have got the Petros chili and chips.
Man, hey, if y'all didn't know, there is a Petros in Middle Tennessee now.
Where?
It is at the Love's gas station off 840 at the
racetrack.
Just it's around there. I can't remember the name of the street now, but it's around that area.
Because that's big where I'm from.
Oh, I know.
From where I'm from, that's big.
I know. I just went
mind
blank
on
what the exit is.
Did you know that, Byrd? When we were kids, there was one here.
There is talk of Murfreesboro getting one.
There's also words on the street that there's going to be some food cities moving this way.
Food City. Not
Um,
when Publix and Kroger are battling for corners, there is no room for Food City.
Food City will come in here and knock those guys out.
What about Winn
Hey,
Dixie?
Oh, good night.
I'm a big Food City guy. There's one in Woodbury.
Guys, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to this 45-minute long episode and the tragic loss of the Vols and, the tragic loss of getting beat by a team. So you cheat, they just throw out all the sportsmanship by cheating.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
My goodness. Yep, I can't find that clip right there, so we'll just bring this one up. But thank you all again for listening to the show. Remember, the podcast comes out tomorrow. Be sure to share it with your friends. Of course, if you've watching this, you've watched the show and you don't want to listen to the podcast, but you can always share it. Get it out to your friends. It is on any platform that is out there, whether it's Stitcher. People go, what's Stitcher? Castbox? I'll throw out the unknowns. It's not just Google and Apple.
I've never heard of either of those two, if I'm being honest.
See. I'm gonna hit the same intro here. We'll see y'all next week. Go Vols.
VOLS.
Flatten the tide.
Vols.
Flatten the curve.